From the stockroom behind the DJC Collectibles studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who memorized the DPCI for the G.I. Joe Classified Royal Guard figure, Kyle Peterson.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome to episode number 54 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, got my special co-host, the girl that the only thing she took me was for granted, Angie. Angie, say hello.
I took you for a lot more than that.
Oh, it took me for all my savings. Angie, say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 54. And Angie, what is today?
Easter.
It's Easter Sunday. He is risen.
He is risen.
Now, you're the religious one of the group right here. So why is it he is risen? Why isn't he has risen? I don't get it. I don't understand the words on that. Shouldn't it be like he has risen? He is risen? Is that proper English? I'm sure somebody knows more than me. I don't know, the things you think of here. But we are filming this on Easter Sunday afternoon, Angie. Usually, and pulling the curtain back, we usually film these on Thursdays. And unfortunately, the last few weeks, I've been out of town on Thursdays, Angie. So we haven't been able to do it. So we're trying to find time to get in there. So a little late this week for Patreon members.
You're always trying to find time to get in there.
I am. And it's just, usually it works. It's hard. It's hard. He is risen indeed. But... yeah, we usually film on Thursdays. We're filming on Easter Sunday this week. So shout out to Easter Sunday.
It's like after Thanksgiving dinner and you're like...
A little tired. Went and saw my aunt, my uncle, my sister, nieces, my grandpa. My kids were there. Your kids were there too. Blended family and all.
Your dad.
My dad was there. And
stepmom?
Stepmom, yes. It was a joyous Easter celebration. Joyous. We had lasagna. Easter lasagna. Why wouldn't you? But I was good with it. It's been a long time since I've had that lasagna, and it was pretty good.
And pie.
And we had pie. Won't be the first time tonight. Won't be the last time tonight. That's
Did a little early celebration of Emma's birthday.
Emma's birthday is this week, so we're just playing all the hits here around Easter.
Well, it will be when they watch this.
It will be. When this goes live, it'll be Emma's birthday. And Emma wanted to go to Dave's Hot Chicken for her birthday, but now she's saying Panera, so I'm getting off pretty easy.
Yeah, no,
I'm getting off pretty easy.
They both just want cheap fast food.
In the dinner department. So usually,
no, that's a lie. Elle always wants Texas Roadhouse.
Elle wants the Texas Roadhouse. So luckily, we're getting away from that. So I'm going to save a couple of dollars this week on Panera, I guess.
You're gonna need it.
Who knew? Who knew? But this week I was down in Kansas City, Angie. I was down there for World Cup Mania. I was doing a little work day job stuff, so I was getting all after the World Cup.
I can't believe we didn't get barbecue.
No, I did a quick up down. I had to go. I drove 3.5 hours for a half-hour presentation and 3.5 hours back up is what I ended up doing. A couple of stops along the way. You'll see that in a fig hunt along the way as well. But there it is, Angie. That's it. Is the show over?
Yep.
Nope, it's not quite over yet because did I tell you I almost died in Kansas City?
I was just going to say, I didn't know if you were going to bring it. I didn't want to bring it up. It was touchy.
It was touchy. I almost died in Kansas City. I got in a shootout. It was like the Old West is what it was like. No, not quite that.
I went to Kansas City and all I did was almost die in a bathroom.
But, yeah, exactly. I almost died in a bathroom, and I always thought I'd have a needle for my arm if I was going to do that. But no, went a different way. As I was down that way for a presentation, and beforehand I met up with old Takis Nick, we call him. A longtime friend, of course. Hired him out of high school. I'll never forget hiring him out of high school. He came to the job interview in lifeguard shorts and like a lifeguard, like a tank top.
A fun fact, at one point we were both his bosses.
That's true. We were. But yeah, I remember I'm like, what is up with this kid? And I knew his dad, though. His dad was a driver for our company. So I said, well, his dad's a good dude. I'm going to take a chance on this kid. And it worked out. He's a good guy. Takis Nick. So it was good to catch up with him down there in Kansas City. And him and I went to a store before we had to give our presentations, and we walked the store and stuff. And what did I see in the parking lot of the store? This should be story time with Kyle, but it's not going to be. There was a Church's Chicken, and some of you guys are like, okay, Church's Chicken, what's that? We don't have those in our neck of the woods here. And the only reason I said, hey, let's go to this Church's Chicken for lunch was because I'd never had it before. And then the night before, I just was scrolling on my phone, and you see some of these things every once in a while. And I came across a map of the United States, and it said every state's favorite place to get chicken. And it said Missouri was Church's. And I'm like, really? I can't imagine that is the case. I've never been there. I've seen it before, but I said, you know what? I should try out this Church's Chicken sometime. And I said, wait a minute. I'm getting up early to go to Kansas City tomorrow. Maybe I'll see one. Lo and behold, there it was in the parking lot. We had just enough time to make this whole thing work. So it worked out okay. So I said, let's go to this Church's. And Nick, I'm the senior guy. So he's like, yeah, whatever, sir. We'll go. Good old Nick. But
Because you were paying, probably.
he paid, actually.
Oh!
He paid. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the company credit card.
Nice.
So it is what it is. So he's got to do the expense report on that one, not me. So that's even better. But we walked in there and we were in the parking lot. We were the only ones there. So it wasn't really hop in place about 11:15 on a Thursday morning. But walked in there and Nick, of course, eagle-eyed Nick, looking at the ground as he's walking, he sees a key. This is kind of off the beaten path, but he sees a key. It looks like a credit card with a little ring and a key just dangling on it. I'm like, what the heck? And it said Churches on it. So he picked it up, which I don't know if I would have touched that, but he picked it up and we went inside and he goes, I think I found the key to the restaurant. And they're like, no, there's no key to the restaurant. He goes, I tried. It looks like it would be the key to the front door or something. So he goes, well, I'm going to prove it right now. And the guy walked over there and locked and unlocked the front door with the key we found outside of the restaurant. And we're like, we could have robbed you guys blind tonight with that thing. And he's like, yeah, I can't believe, I don't know whose that is, but thanks for turning it in. And I said, and then I told him, I said, I think that key actually represented that we get free food for life, if I'm not mistaken.
Some type of reward.
And I was just joking because we weren't really paying with our own money. He goes, oh, I'm giving you guys 20% off your bill for doing that. 20% off. So we saved 20%.
A little Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, obviously. Salt of the earth, Nick and I. But we went from there. We both actually ordered the same thing, which is weird. I had what I was going to order, and then he ordered ahead of me. And I was like, you just ordered the same thing, which I hate doing that because it makes people question. Like, what is this? Why did they order
like lovers?
Something? It's like, why did they order the same thing? That is so strange. And knowing Nick, it's usually a cheese pizza and a Sprite. He eats like a kid. But no, this time we got the breast and the wing, and we both went white meat. We were both in for the white meat this day. I got the slaw and the mashed potatoes. I think he just got mashed potatoes. So there was a little bit of difference there. But we'd never had Churches before. He'd never had it either. And I sat down with it, and I opened it up. And I got to be honest, first time having it, it reminded me exactly of Popeyes. I did get my chicken spicy. It wasn't that spicy, I didn't feel. I mean, you could taste a little spice, but it wasn't like overpowering or anything like that.
Was it crispy or
It was crispy. So it wasn't like original KFC. It was really more Popeyes style to me.
Okay.
I really felt like I was eating Popeyes.
I would
really
like that too. I don't really like original. I think it's too rubbery.
I love the
KFC.
original.
I know
But
you do.
the mashed potatoes were like a cross between Popeyes and KFC. They didn't have that overly like lunch lady KFC taste, but not the spice kind of weird
Cajun.
mix Cajun. It was somewhere in between that, and the slaw was terrible. It was totally dry. I felt like I was eating like salad, like lettuce.
So there
Like, there was no
It was
dressing.
just a slaw without the moisture.
It was a mess. So that wasn't good. But we're going away and eating stuff and doing all this. We're getting to the point of the story here, people. I'm sitting there, I'm eating and all this. And we've talked about this at length ad nauseum on this channel, how I always choke on my food all the time. I always choke on my food.
You're choking, I'm coughing.
Yeah, you're coughing, I'm choking. It makes sense. No. But I'm always choking on my food. It's like a mental thing too at this point where I'm always scared. And it's funny, we're eating Easter here and I'm sitting at the table. I'm like, don't choke on your food. You don't want to die in front of your whole family. I'm thinking that the whole time in my head. And there was one time I had to stand up and I just like, okay, I'm fine or whatever. It's a weird thing, guys. It's a weird thing. I'm not going to the doctor. Don't ask me. I'm not. I'm just going to die in a church's bathroom. So long story short, I'm eating this piece of chicken here and we're talking, we're conversing and stuff. And I take a big bite of chicken. And I thought I chewed it enough. Obviously, I did not chew it enough. And to make matters even worse, I got a Coke and the pop was flat. It was flat pop. And they had a bunch of other stuff I wasn't going to drink. So I was just like kind of sipping on this flat pop. And
He needs that carbonation.
I need that carbon. And I didn't even think about it till right now. That's probably the problem. But this is flat pop. And I'm drinking it. Nick's telling me the story. And all of a sudden, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm choking. And whenever I start choking, I'm like, do I take a drink or do I not take a drink? Because if I take a drink, say it's caught right here, that just sits there and then I just puke it up or spit it out. Either way. So anyways, I'm like, uh-oh, this ain't good. So I immediately in the middle of his story, I'm like, yep, uh-huh. And I just stand up and I get up and I go to try to get like a refill. And I'm like, this ain't going good. And I saw the bathroom door right there. I said, I'm going to go in the bathroom. But what they say is when you're choking on food, you never go in the bathroom. Don't go somewhere by yourself because you'll just die. Don't isolate yourself. But I don't want to make this commotion in the restaurant in front of Nick. I don't want to see these workers. There's nobody else in there, thankfully. But I didn't want to see these workers. I didn't want to be a part of that. I'm like, I'll get this figured out. And I'm in there. I'm like, uh-oh, this ain't good. Mind you, I'm 15 minutes away from doing a big presentation with like 20 directors and stuff. So think of that. So I go in the bathroom and I'm trying to get this down. I took my pop with me and I'm just, trying to get it down. Okay, I'm going to take a big drink. And what happened exactly? This is probably too much. Why am I telling this story? I don't know.
Did you ever think you'd tell thousands of people this?
No, why am I telling people this? So I take this big sip And I immediately know where the business is headed. It's coming all back out. And it like projected out of my face. All over the mirror in the bathroom. Now, luckily, this bathroom was like a single stall bathroom.
You were like, luckily, it was ghetto already.
It was. It wasn't the nicest place to begin with, so I didn't feel as bad. But it was a single room. You know, you had your huge. It's like a huge room.
Yeah.
Like there was a toilet over here, a urinal here, a sink here, and a mirror, and then
so
plenty
no
of
one
room.
else could come in.
No, nobody else could come in. There was plenty of room for other activities, and let me tell you, I had some activities. So naturally, I stripped down naked.
You just puked over every wall.
I stripped down naked.
Oh yeah, you got
of course. Well, you had to. No, I didn't do that. But I puked all over the mirror. I'm like, oh my gosh, great. And then I'm like, just like, ugh, I'm just trying to get it out, and I'm puking in the sink. Well, then it's the thing where there's too much. The chunks are too big in the sink, so I had to clean that out. But anyways, and then I turned and I like projectile vomited chicken across the room, all over the toilet. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to sit here and clean up this church's chicken.
2 hours later,
this bathroom that's all gross already. Now I got to clean up my mess, and I did. I cleaned up my puke, which a lot of people would have walked away and just said, you know, it's part of the experience, is what they would have said. But no,
Nick might have gone bathroom.
Yeah, like, oh man, somebody puked all over. I don't know what it is. A baby threw up all over the walls and everything. But man, and I'm sitting there and I cannot get this down, and I'm just sitting there and it's like I'm sweating and my eyes are watering, and then I'm puking this, so like the spice is coming up through my nose and my eyes are bloodshot because I'm puking. Now I'm up to like 10 minutes before I have to present at this meeting.
Should have went original.
I don't know what I should have done, but I did get the huge chunk of chicken out, and it wasn't even that big. I'm like, how am I choking on this? Long story short, this is more than anybody wanted to know. I was not planning on telling this whole story. But I came out and Nick was there, and I didn't tell him the gory details. So we got to go. We got to present. So, and luckily the presentation went fine. My eyes must not have been too red.
So like, how much of your food had you eaten? Was it weird that you just like came back to your table and they had like a full plate of food? So like, I'm good.
So I did say this coleslaw is no good after one bite. I said I'm not eating it. I ate all my mashed potatoes. I ate my chicken wing. That's where I started with. And I worked my way to the breast. You know, I always work my way there. I start with other places, work my way to the breast.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So I had
you usually start at the breast and work your way down.
That's true, but I need to move my things around. I need to switch up my game, keep everybody guessing is what I need to do. But I had a big bite out of the chicken, the breast, and that was it. But I wasn't that hungry. Yeah. So what a story!
After
I know.
That,
riveting.
You were just traumatized.
Riveting story. But yeah, it was a tough time at Church's Chicken. I don't know if I'd be back. Whenever I think Church's Chicken going forward, I'm going to think about how we saved the city of Churches with the key, and then we saved my life in the bathroom by myself. But there was that guy in your small town or up over there that choked on his food, went into the bathroom, probably same situation. They found him dead. They found him dead in the bathroom. That's what you're going to be looking forward to. You never know. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 10 years, but it's going to happen.
Well, if you're with me, you wouldn't have to leave. I'd help you.
No,
I'd go with you.
No, I'm not going to sit there and choke in front of everybody. There was a guy that from my company that had a huge, like he was his retirement, and he had a huge thing. It was like 500 people at this event. They gave him this award as he retired from this grocery thing. And right as he was getting up, he took a bite of his steak and choked on his steak in front of that whole room. They had to give him the Heimlich and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I could never live that down if that happened to me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, folks. I couldn't do it.
Oh, my God.
All right, that's enough about this Church's Chicken. I've taken up way too much time here. But, Angie, we got a little giveaway to deal with from last week. Do you remember what the giveaway is about?
No.
How many people has Kyle blocked? How many people has Kyle blocked on YouTube? And I will tell you, since last week, it has risen by one. He has risen once again. I had to block someone today.
Oh, God.
There's some guy, and he's really strange. He's one of those strange guys. And he's, I think, bipolar. There's a few bipolar posters out there that just say nice things about me, and then all of a sudden it's like the most evil things about me, and I'm terrible. And then he told me he was going to, for my Duke slander, he is thumbs downing my videos and reporting me to YouTube as a claim of like talking about the Epstein files and stuff like that. He's going to complain about this. And I just said, you know what? You're blocked from my channel going forward. I went to his page. I said, you know what? I'm sick of this bipolar stuff. You happy in one post, and then I'm the most evil person in the world in the next post. I said, you're blocked going forward, just so you know. So now we've added another one to the tally. So
should I take a guess?
I never told you the right answer. Now, I kind of did a little bit of disservice in this game because I said, just keep it between 1 and 1,000. Like it's nowhere near 1,000. I should have just maybe dialed it in a little bit better, but I will say the winner missed it by 1.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't go over, so he did win. It's a long-time viewer of the channel, which makes it even more fun that somebody that's followed for a long time did win this one. But now I guess it's technically 2, but either way, he still won. He was by far the closest to it. And I saw it and I did one of these. I'm like, whoa, he's almost there. I couldn't believe it. I said, I think we got our winner. And it was early on. But
it can't be over 100.
It's not over 100. I will tell you that much. So a lot of people thought, somebody said like 670 or something.
Oh my God. I'm going to say 69. That's my favorite number.
That is funny because you know what number the winner picked?
What?
69.
Stop. Right there.
How wild is that? You two got wild things. So our winner is MPH8200, longtime viewer. I'm saying you blocked 69 just because. Top one, nice one. Look at you two, both on there. So 70.
My God, that's so funny.
70 was the magical number. It is now 71 as of today, but it was 70. So you guessed 69.
That was crazy.
That is crazy. So MPH8200, you win the Superman figure. MPH8200, I hate saying that name. MPH82 miles per hour, 8200. You got to email me at the KylePetersonShow@gmail.com. Shoot me your address and I will get this in the mail to you immediately. Thank you for entering, everybody that entered that giveaway. That was a fun one. How many people's Kyle blocked? And some of you guys think I'm just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I think this was the smallest number people guessed. There was like,
oh my God, I can't believe
but I did say in there, I said, I've got a lot of spam bots I got rid of. So I can see how people say, oh yeah, there's spam stuff all the time. He's probably blocking somebody every day. So I understand that. So it was a very fun game. We got to think of more games like that in the future because I got a lot of action figures I want to give away. So, but I wanted to have some fun around it too.
That was cute.
It was cute.
I still can't believe I guessed his exact
You guessed
guess.
exactly.
That was crazy.
And you asked me earlier, like, would you tell me after? And then you forgot all about asking me until right now. You didn't even remember the giveaway. Unbelievable.
I'll 69 the figure a little bit before you said it.
Oh, watch out. Watch out. There it is, Angie. Show us how it's done. Show us how it's done. There it is for you. Oh my God. Settle down. Settle down. But we're almost done here with the housekeeping before we get into a little bit of extracurricular activities here. But Angie, I want to thank the sponsor of the Kyle Peterson Show. It is DJC.
You got 69 on your mind.
I guess. It's DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to support DJC Collectibles, support the channel. Thank them for being a longtime supporter of the channel. Shout out to DJC Collectibles. This month, Patreon giveaway. It is Major Stars Series 2 for the members of Series 2. Giving that away over on Patreon. Patreon, your best way to support this channel, all the content it brings, and Angie's nasty habits. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And we're not keeping up. We need about 10,000 more subscribers to the Patreon to keep up with your habits. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. But you look ravishing in this teal today.
Thank you. I was trying to match your piping there.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. We're matching. This is great for the audio listeners, of course. But looking good right there. But I think that's good for housekeeping. Angie, you got anything else? Anything you want to talk about? You don't have anything? I can't believe it. I can't believe you don't have anything.
Just I'm glad that you survived.
Just glad to survive another day at Church's Chicken. I'm sure it happens all the time. But
I couldn't even tell people if that's where you died.
Oh.
I would just be like,
he died in church.
He died in a car accident.
He died in church. Is what I was just saying. You go. He died in church. Yeah. The Holy Spirit got him. The Holy Ghost. Who knows? But Angie, we actually have a little bit of a follow-up here today in a deeper dive, as we just literally covered this. I think it was either last week or the week before.
Okay.
Now we got a little follow-up. It's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time for a deeper dive brought to you by Decade Eyewear. Check out the little QR code in the video here. Give that a little scan. Save yourself $10. And I actually just got a new pair of sunglasses coming this week, Angie.
Rude.
Yes.
I wanted the green ones.
Hard times for you. Good times for me. I got a new pair coming, and you'll be all surprised by those great glasses I got coming. So you can get the next pair, maybe. Maybe. If you play your cards right, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But here we are, Angie. It's time for a deeper dive. Now, I'm going to jog Angie's memory. Don't look at the notes here. We're going to quiz you on these things.
Oh, gosh.
But there it is, that cough. So one of the viewers said you got some kind of issue. You better go to the hospital.
I was a lot better until we went to LA, and then it flared up again.
You know, I think, didn't you step on one of those needles in the bathroom? That could be it. That could be it. That could be it. That could be it.
That HIV cough.
Darn it. Darn it. But Angie, we got a deeper dive here, and it was either last week or the week before. I don't know if you'll remember this. I'm going to guess no. But we talked about breaks at work and we talked about the like perfect fast food meal, going to Wendy's, Burger King, and stuff like that. Literally the next day. Now, this must be like the microphone's always listening. A lot of
like kismet weird things happen to us like that.
There must be somebody listening, and so then they put it in your feed or something like that. Because once again, I got something like this. But there was a study done this week or last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was done, and it basically ranked out of all the fast food restaurants. It said, the favorite chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, hamburgers, and stuff. Okay. So I was interested to see by this big United States poll to see who came out on top in all these things. And I looked over this list. There was a couple of surprises in there. And I figured I'd read the list to get your opinion. And feel free to put your opinions in the comments down below. But we're going to start with America's favorite fast food hamburger. Okay. Now, here are, I guess it goes percentages is what it does. Oh, God. So here's the hard part to me. Like, In-N-Out is on this list. Okay. But how much of the United States has ever had In-N-Out? Right. So you got to take some of these things into mind, as there are some things that I've never even really heard of inside here as well. So, obviously, when you do this list, you got to think of the main heavy hitters in fast food, probably, is what you got to do. In-N-Out could be the best burger. I've heard it from many people, but do you think it will be on this list nationwide? No, it won't, because it's only in like 5 states or whatever it is. So take that into consideration. We're going to do favorite fast food hamburger, and I'll post these in the video here. You can see the percentages, but I'm just going to say in order is what we're going to say. What do you think the number one fast food hamburger was?
McDonald's.
McDonald's was not number one.
Well, I kind of needed more of my options. I can't
just think of any fast food restaurant. So it pretty much said you think of
Guys.
They're on the list. That's not number one.
I don't know.
Okay, Angie, you're supposed to do 3 guesses.
Culver's. That's definitely not on the list.
Culver's is not on the list, which would offend my dad and grandpa, who both love a Culver's burger, let me tell you. But number one was Burger King with 39%. That would be the Whopper. So apparently people like their flame grilled Whoppers.
Flame broiled.
Flame broiled. I've never had a Whopper.
I don't like the taste of a Whopper.
I've never had a Whopper. There's a place called Bebop's around us, which I think is kind of similar, and I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. So Burger King was number one. Can you guess number 2?
McDonald's.
Wendy's with 32%. McDonald's was number 3 with 29%. So
I don't like any of those burgers.
And then Five Guys was next. Then Sonic.
Sonic's good. They have like a smash burger. It's similar to Culver.
I've never been there for that. In-N-Out is after that. Checkers and Rallies is next. I've had that in the Quad Cities, I believe. It didn't make my
Have I had that?
I don't think so. Next after that is a deep cut Dairy Queen.
Oh my gosh.
Hot Eats, Cool Treats, people.
That's crazy.
Cookout is the one I'm not familiar with. And then Arby's last place, which I didn't even know Arby's had hamburgers. But I know you have a cough.
Yeah.
You need to get some medicine for that. Arby's was last, but I didn't think Arby's even had hamburgers. So is there some weird Arby's out there that serves hamburgers? Or are people that confused? They don't know what they're eating. They're eating the roast beef sandwich.
I don't know.
You love a good roast beef sandwich.
You love a good roast beef.
I know you do too, though. You've done it. You've eaten them. I know you have. I know what you're up to. I saw
college days.
I watched. It was wild. Wild.
I'm kind of like high maintenance with food in my old age. Like I like a good quality burger, like a smash burger. Yeah. And I can't do these fast food burgers.
Is way too pricey, guys. Way too pricey. All right. Well, we're going to dial it back into the next one here. One you should be able to guess. So we're going to give you 3 choices once again. Favorite fast food chicken sandwich, Angie. Chicken sandwiches. Now, this is where I excel because I'm a chicken sandwich guy. I'm not really a hamburger guy. I like a hamburger, but I always go chicken sandwich over hamburger. I know it's crazy, but I do it. But what do you think is the number one fast food chicken sandwich?
Well, it's got to be Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, number 1. Look at that. And I'll eat it.
That's not mine. I don't even get the sandwich there. I like the nuggets.
Oh, I hate your order there. You want to tell everybody again, refresh them what your order is?
I get the grilled nuggets. Well, I get both.
Yeah, you go both ways. You always do. You always do.
And then I get a kale crunch, and then I make a little salad, and I drizzle buffalo over it. And I get a lemonade.
It's the most high maintenance thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like $40. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So Chick-fil-A was number 1. That coffee, Angie. I think it's a nervous tick. Could it be a nervous tick? I think you might.
It just feels tight in my chest. I'm like asthmatic or something.
Well, it is always tight. I can tell you that much. I don't know how. But here we are. Okay, number 2. Any guesses? You've had this one. It's one that a lot of people do like, and I actually reading this, I'm like, you know what? I do like this chicken sandwich, and I probably haven't had it forever.
Surprisingly, like the chicken, it's just so heavy and breading, but from Popeyes and KFC, their chicken sandwiches are actually good.
Popeyes number 2, Angie. Look at you. I didn't think you'd pull that out of your
It's got really good
baby
flavor,
maker.
and it's super crunchy and like thick. But it's almost too thick, is it? And then sometimes you get too much breading.
It's never too thick. What are you talking about? I don't remember even what it tastes like. It's been so long. But I do like the KFC.
And they do the good, thick, crunchy pickles.
Oh, yeah. I like pickles, but I don't like them on my breaded chicken sandwiches for some reason. Angie does.
Especially Chick-fil-A. Those are like paper. Those are like McDonald's ones.
So, speaking of McDonald's, they are number 3 in the chicken sandwich debate.
Wild.
God awful. One of the worst.
Culver's,
I hate it.
Culver's redid their chicken sandwich. That's
I'm still a little... I had the chicken sandwich at Culver's, and I bit into it, and it sprayed like hot chicken grease on me and burned the side of my mouth.
That's what you get.
It burned over here. So that was bad. But
they make them fresh, baby.
McDonald's, number 3. Number 4, Wendy's. Now, that was the gold standard for 100 years for me. The spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's was my absolute favorite from fast food places. Loved that chicken sandwich. But in the last couple of years, it went absolutely south. The bread sucks there. Everything sucked about it. It's been heartbreaking. And the last 2 times I went to Wendy's, I said, I'm never coming back here. Fool me once, I did. I have not been back. Then in a plot twist, they announced this week they are changing their breaded chicken sandwiches.
Good, as they should.
I'm scared to try it, but I feel like I have to try it at least once. So I will try that.
You get so many weird bites, and yuck.
I don't know. So Wendy's comes in at number 4.
Do you want to know my Wendy's order?
Sure.
I get a chili and nuggets.
Chili nuggets. She dumps the nuggets in the chili.
I actually don't, but that's a move.
That is a move. You love a good bowl of chili. I know you. I know you. I've seen it. I've seen you in your chili bowl. Let's see. Wendy's is number 4. Number 5 could be right up there with Wendy's as my all-time favorite chicken sandwich, but I don't think they're listing this one here. It doesn't say. It is Burger King. Now, Burger King, the pro move, though, for the chicken sandwich is the long one. You don't get that circle one. You get that boat-like long one. That is money. I remember when I was at like the height of my growth spurt or the height of a puberty or something, I would eat 3 of those. Dad would go, we're going to Burger King. I'm like, can you give me 3 chicken sandwiches? Just crazy. I couldn't finish one now if I wanted to, I don't think. But
we're getting old. Every time we go to the hoo-ha type place, we always talk about how we used to eat like 3 or 4.
I know. I just don't have the appetite I once had. I barely
do too.
Don't have the appetite. We're about there to split those pork tenderloins. We're going to split it, and then we're going to take the leftovers for dinner. It's getting there. So Burger King was next, which I do like. Raising Cane's after that, which is okay. I dabble.
Never had the burger or the
chicken
sandwich there.
Their chicken sandwich is 2 chicken tenders on a bun.
Oh, God.
With a piece of lettuce and then the sauce on it. I mean, there's nothing to it. So, Once again, the sleeper on here, Dairy Queen. Can't say I've had anything but ice cream at Dairy Queen.
These people are high.
Arby's after that. I don't know if they're known for their chicken sandwiches. Then Checkers and Rallies, and then Cookout, last place. This Cookout place must be god-awful. Anybody ever been to Cookout? I feel like it's an East Coast thing or a Southeast thing or something. I don't know. I've never been there. All right, now we're separating the men from the boys. It's time for a little chicken nuggets is what we're ready for here. So get your mind around some chicken nuggets. Favorite fast food chicken nuggets, number 1. What is the gold standard?
Chick-fil-A.
No.
McDonald's.
They
reformulated. Have you guys noticed?
No.
They leave like when you eat it, you get like a crumb on your hand now. There's like a little bit of a transfer on that bread.
I've been a nugget guy my whole life from McDonald's.
Don't cry about it.
I know. It's just, they're good. I like them. No, they're all right. They're not the greatest thing ever. I prefer not to go to McDonald's, but that is my go-to. And I think the barbecue sauce, too, is something to go with it. I can't eat McDonald's nuggets without that barbecue sauce. Might as well just throw them in the garbage if they forgot the sauce, because I can't do it. You can't mix a different sauce with those. So McDonald's, 45%. And then you said Chick-fil-A, 37% at number 2 is Chick-fil-A. Next up, any guesses?
The only other thing I can think of is Wendy's, but they don't have
Wendy's, number 3. And Wendy's, back in like the 80s, they first came out with chicken nuggets. They're totally different than they are now. They were so good in the 80s. And that barbecue sauce there was hitting hard. So good. And then they reformulated, which were still pretty good. You get like 5 for $1. It was a good deal. And then they went to the spicy nuggets. I don't like their spicy nuggets at all. And I don't really like their nuggets this day and age. So Wendy's really fallen.
They're rubbery sponges.
You know, Dave Thomas is doing gator rolls.
What is he doing? He's
dead. Yeah, he's doing gator rolls in his grave because he's disappointed the way Wendy's has went. They're closing all these locations. It's been a tough time for Wendy's.
Poor Wendy's.
Following up with that is Burger King. Now, Burger King, back in the day, they had the long, skinny chicken nuggets. Once again, beautiful
chicken
sauce.
Fries?
We'll get there. They had these long chicken nuggets that were really good. Real ones remember them, of course. The real ones remember them. They were so good. The sauce hit just hard. I absolutely loved those. Then they did go to chicken fries, which you like chicken fries?
Yeah.
Emma, my daughter, loves the chicken fries. Everybody else in the family hates Burger King, won't go. But Emma and I have little daddy-daughter dates. There you go.
Hey.
Easy for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
And we will go every once in a while. And she gets a chicken fry, and I get the classic chicken sandwich. But Burger King, this day and age, they got more of the chicken nugget McDonald's type stuff going on for their nuggets. And that's a bad move by them. Bad move. Terrible, terrible. Following up with that, Popeyes. I don't know if I've ever had Popeyes chicken nuggets.
I think I have. I think they were good.
Okay. Following up with that, Raising Cane's. Now,
do they even have nuggets?
I think people are confused because it's a tender, and a tender and nugget is basically the same thing for the most part. It's close enough to be dangerous, and I think that's what people did when they were filling this out. They said, Raising Cane's. Well, it's not quite the same thing. Then Checkers and Rallies, then Arby's, then Cookout, and then Wawa. You know about the Wawa?
No.
A lot of people swear by the Wawa. It's like a gas station convenience, kind of like a fancy gas station kind of. Anyways, now we're getting hot and heavy into the French fries, which I could take and leave most of the time. I'm sure most people guess what the number one French fry is.
It better not be McDonald's.
It's McDonald's, 51%. Angie hates the McDonald's fries because she's a communist. That's why.
They give me a headache like almost instantly. They're so chemically or something.
It's weird. What do you think number 2 is?
Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Nope, Wendy's.
That's my favorite. When they reformulated it and did the natural cut with the sea salt, I like them. Hate them. They switched the spicy chicken sandwich. They switched the bun. They switched the chicken nuggets, and they switched the fries. I'm out. They messed it all up over there. I miss the old school Wendy fries, but apparently people like them at number 2. Burger King, very close, 1% like a Burger
off.
King fry.
3. Chick-fil-A number 4, that'd be the waffle fries. Five Guys after that. I'd prefer Five Guys fries over all these other ones. Then it goes to Checkers and Rallies, and I feel like Checker and Rallies is kind of known for their fries. They sell them in the frozen food aisle in some stores, so they must have some kind of a name value of some kind. Then Arby's. Everybody loves those curly fries. I know my kids are always taken aback by these curly fries. Looks like a pig's tail almost sometimes. Then Popeyes, which I couldn't tell you anything about Popeyes French fries. And then Dairy Queen, and then In-N-Out last place for their fries. Really weird how popular In-N-Out hamburgers are that people hate their fries so much. I find
They're
that
so
to be really
undercooked.
strange.
They're so what's the term when they're like blonde, like almost like
I don't know. They're terrible.
they're not golden, whatever that step is before.
And it's funny is too, not on this list is Long John Silver's, and they just went to the waffle fries there. But one of my great memories of my grandma, and she's still alive. Shout out Grandma Mert, what you up to? But
Call me.
She would always say, "Oh, Kyle, I love these Long John Silver fries. These are my absolute favorite fries." And she isn't dead, but she would be rolling over her grave if she knew what had happened.
Don't
to
even
Long
tell
John's.
her.
I'm not. She doesn't live anywhere near Long John's, hasn't been forever, and I'm not going to let her know that they've switched the fries there because she just loved those fries. And she'd be like, "Oh, I'm not," like she wouldn't even order. She just ordered like a small fry, and then she'd eat some of my fries. She just loved their fries. I don't know.
Fun fact, she went blind and she didn't know Kyle grew his hair out, and she felt it there when we were there the other day.
Yeah, last time.
She was like, oh, really? It was so crazy.
She lost her sight, which has got to be one of the worst things ever when you can't see your favorite grandson. Like, look at him. I mean, I can't imagine. Say, "Well, Grandma, I have cancer now." And she didn't believe me. And she couldn't see. So, I don't know. She didn't believe me. And then I said, "Grandma, I'm going to be healed, though. They gave me 18 stitches. It's been removed. I'm on the mend." And then I said, I forget how. I think I brushed by her.
I think you said, like, I can hide it with my hair or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I said I could hide it with my hair, and she's like, "What do you mean?" or something. I said, "I got long hair now." She goes, "No, you don't," and all this kind of stuff, because I always had short hair forever. And then I put my hair in her hand, and she thought I was like one of the girls or Angie or something. And then I grabbed her hand, and I made her touch my beard, and I said, "Unless Angie's the bearded lady, maybe." Maybe. But yeah, my grandma was shocked. She was shocked by this turn of events. She could not believe it. And that's the way that went.
Right.
But
It's so funny we didn't even think to tell her like
no. Yeah, never came up in conversation for whatever reason. So who knows? Man, this cough is really, you haven't coughed all day. There's something with the show.
No, because I've been coughing like a lot. Like I was coughing so much last night.
Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Spring allergy season. Oh my gosh, take your top off, stay a while. But here we are, Angie. That is the list. Anything you want to add to that? Anything that was missed? Any other categories you would have liked to seen?
Just like Midwest is best with this food, apparently.
I think it would have been nice.
Nasty foods.
I think it would have been nice if they would have had a thing for like favorite dessert at one of these places, like an Arby's turnover or something like that.
A lot of that they like recycle. Like they don't keep
I guess
staples of.
I mean, Culver's has pretty good ice cream or custard, I guess technically.
Well,
Dairy Queen might win the dessert game too. You never know. So interesting list nonetheless, but no super surprises for me out of that list. Angie was surprised on a few things, but nothing too crazy, I don't think.
No.
But we got a little bit more follow-up in the next segment, Angie. Brought to you by Deutsch Snacking Dough. Use the link in the description down below. Save big time. Eat like Angie. It's time to try new foods because they might taste good.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food because they might taste good.
All right, Angie, it's time to try new foods because they might taste good. And we got a little bit of a follow-up to a follow-up here today in this one. Is early on in the podcast, Angie, you even remember what episode that was? Who knows? Episode 11. Who knows what episode it was? We did try a new Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and I can't remember what that was at the
Red
time.
Velvet?
Oh, no. I know what it was.
Oh.
It was the
Oreo?
Oreo one,
Oh,
I think.
yeah,
I
no,
think
it was
that's
good.
what it was, but that was really good. But we talked about, and more specifically, I talked about how Reese's don't taste like they used to back in like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
They're too chemically now. The peanut butter chocolate, there's a weird taste with them. It just, there's something amiss. And then, I don't know, 15, 20 episodes later, there was an update where the grandson of Reese's said, hey, this is god-awful, and basically said what we said as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, news just broke this week that Hershey's has decided to go back to the original chocolate formula, get back to the basics after the whole publicity with that whole brouhaha there. So I'm all here for a Reese's reformulation to get back to the days. So we're going to see where that ends up going.
Happen?
I don't know when it's going to happen. It'll be a while, I'm sure. But why are you telling us this? Well, we have a new Reese's Peanut Butter Cup here today, Angie. What do we have? What are we going to try?
Reese's Marshmallow.
Reese's.
It's a big back one, too. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, big cup.
Reese's Marshmallow Cup. So I'm not sure what we're getting ourselves into with this one. We know Angie's got a cough. Maybe it'll cure the cough.
Mm-hmm. Coat the throat.
Maybe. A little throat coat, Angie. We're going to try 190 calories per big cup, though. Oh, my
Normally, I'm
gosh.
so hungry at this segment, and I'm so full. We just had pie and Easter dinner. Let's share one.
She's begging for it. No, you gotta have your own. You gotta have your own. I don't need your lip juice on my lips. That's for sure. There you go. Well, how's it smell?
Good.
Smells okay. Smells peanut butter. These are a little thick, though.
It's got a lot of filling, though. You can see where it's kind of like softer in the middle.
Oh, yeah,
The
it is
filling's
soft
all
in
the
the
way to
middle.
the tip. Like, oh, it is the tip.
What do you think about the tip?
I like the tip.
Tell us more. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see what's going on here.
So full. Oh.
Marshmallow's gooing
The
out the
marshmallow's
side.
like wet.
It reminds me, we are filming this on Easter. It reminds me of a Cadbury cream egg.
Reminds me of something else.
What? Oh.
Got
What?
something in my eye.
Why do you like that so much? Like every night, like just give me some. Like put it in a jar. I don't care.
I'll put it on. That's skincare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I like the cream.
That's a first. You usually all cream.
It's such a thin layer too, but it really changes
It's
the
gritty.
way it tastes.
It's a gritty marshmallow. It reminds me of the Cadbury
I don't
cream
think
egg
that-
filling.
I don't think that part's the gritty part. I think that part's smooth, but it's. I don't know. It just makes it taste like a cheap candy or something.
You've had a Cadbury cream egg, haven't you? That's what it's like.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's like that Cadbury cream egg flavor.
I would rather have it be like fluffy marshmallowy consistency.
I thought it would be too. I thought it was going to be kind of like a Peep almost type
So
thing.
it's crazy how thin it is in the ratio to the peanut butter, but it just kind of overpowers it.
Yeah.
It's not my journey.
It's not Angie's Journey here today with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup marshmallow.
It doesn't taste terribly chemically, though.
No, it doesn't. Actually, the peanut butter tastes better than I've had lately, so I don't know what's up with that, but still.
It's these limited edition ones, I'm telling you. They're always better.
You know. But if you had to rate it out of 5, what do you think?
At 2.5.
I'm going to go a low 2 out of 5. I would never get this again. And I think I got this for like $1. They had like a big clearance bin, or I don't know what it was, but
It's not bad.
it's too big. It's too
It's just
thick.
not-
It's too thick, but it's Reese's, right? You know, we always talk about it too. It's always weird to me. I was down in Missouri this week, Angie, as I was talking about. I almost died in a church's bathroom. Have I told that story on the podcast yet? No.
Misery loves company.
Missouri loves company. That's true, but it's always weird when people down there call it Missouri. When I'm always so used to Missouri, you
Is
know.
that how the locals say it?
Not everybody, but
Oh.
some do. But it's like Reese's and Reese's. It's always weird to me when I hear Reese's. But down in Missouri, it's Reese's for a lot of
Missouri.
people. So it must be a South thing. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. It's Reese's.
Pecan.
And I think the owner of Reese's says Reese's. He doesn't say Reese's. So it's an interesting thing. It always plays with my brain. But Missouri, tomato, potato. 2 tomatoes right there.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is, Angie. That's another try new foods because it might taste good. We got something interesting next week. We do got these new Takis dill pickle Takis there, so we might try those. We also have like Pringles Mingles, a jalapeno cheddar, which I don't know if we'll do those. Might give those to the rats.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
We'll see.
Maybe we can have a dill pickle special.
We'll see. But Angie, I just brought up the rats, and now we got to tell a little story. It's time for Story Time with Kyle. All right, Angie, it's time for Story Time with Kyle, but in a plot twist, a little bit of Story Time with Angie as well along the way here. As today, we're going to talk about animals, some pet animals. And currently, we have a lot of pets. We got our 3 dogs that most people know about, but we also have 4 rats around these parts here. 4 varmints that, of course, when we got them, I said, Angie, you know you're going to be cleaning their cage every single day. You know the kids aren't going to do anything with them. And, of course, you know these little kids. Oh, we'll help. We'll do it all. And you know exactly what happened. Once again, dear old dad, 100% correct. Angie has to take care of these rats every single day. So kudos to you, Angie. Kudos to you for being a rat mom.
I'm not doing very good.
She's not doing very good, but that's not what this story's about with these rats. These rats are going to come and go. How much? I bet we don't have a year left with these rats. They're about 4 years is what they last. So we might only have 1 year left. And it's like, part of us is like, we should just get rid of these guys. But who wants rats? And then as much as
No.
I like the rats. I like talk to them every night before I go to bed. And I drink some chocolate milk and I talk to them. I don't want them to be fed because what would somebody say? Yeah, I'll take them. Then they feed them to their snake is what would happen probably. And I'm not going to let them go. I don't think.
If we committed, we got to get through.
Yeah, we got a year left. We got a year left. So we'll see. We'll try to make it as enjoyable as possible. But thinking about these and some, dealing with them this week, it reminded me of being a little kid. And, every little kid along the way, our kids wanted rats for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Most want hamsters, maybe gerbils, maybe a guinea pig. I'm sure you watching or listening have probably had one of those in your life sometime. Mm-hmm. As a kid, I had gerbils. What did you have as a kid?
Well, I didn't have them as a kid. I had them in college. They were
Okay.
like dwarf hamsters.
Okay, and we'll get to that. So I had gerbils as a kid in like 2nd, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever. I had gerbils. And we went to the pet store and I picked out the gerbil I wanted. It was a nice little brown one, Honestly, I like the looks of hamsters. I don't know if gerbils were cheaper. They were out of hamsters. I don't know. For some reason, bought my gerbil. It was all good. We got the gerbil. We got home, got a little cage, all this. I did work and clean that the cage on that thing. I took care of it because my parents told me the same thing. But my parents weren't pushovers like we are, or you are more like it. I'm the one always fighting, and then I'm the bad guy all the time for saying, you said you would do this. Anyways, so I would clean, I'd take care of it. I had to do the cage once a week. I think I did it like every Sunday or something. I just, like clockwork, clean that thing out, put the new bedding, all that fun stuff. But long time into it, I'm playing with him, hanging out, and his name was Sting. And everybody would say, we'd have bring your animal to school day, and I would bring him. And everybody's like, oh, Sting, you're a big fan of the Police? I'm like, no, the wrestler Sting. He's named after the wrestler Sting. And everybody would always say Sting of the Police. And to this day, I hate Sting. I hate the Police because people were thinking I would name my gerbil. Do I look like a guy that would name my gerbil after Sting the musician? No, it's Sting the wrestler.
Bon Jovi.
Oh, my gosh. So anyways, had these gerbils. And then I always wanted to get more. I always thought it'd be fun to watch them play and hang out and stuff. So I finally, wore down my parents, and they said, all right, fine, we'll go to the pet store. And we went to the Earl May, which is like a lawn and garden place that sold those, which is really weird. And then many years later, there was a thing on the news about like the manager, when these gerbils would get older or the animals would get older, he would take them back out and kill them with shovels. And he would like slam them and throw them against brick walls and stuff. And that's what they would get rid of them. So that was a whole thing as well. But I saved this gerbil from that apparently. But
how big is a gerbil?
It's about smaller than the rat.
Yeah.
Like a hamster in between. So a little guy. But anyways, I talked him into getting another gerbil. Now we knew we had a boy gerbil. And we said, hey, we need another boy gerbil. Obviously, we're not going to pay money to fix gerbils. I don't know if that works. I don't know if anybody does
Sure
that. But we wanted 2 boys because you didn't want more gerbils and stuff. So anyways, long story short, got 2 gerbils. It was fun. They played together. They hung out. They were having a good old time. And apparently a really good time because next thing you knew, shortly after, one day I just look in there and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of baby gerbils in there. I could not believe my size, and then it's like, okay, we obviously don't got two boy gerbils here. And it's amazing to learn how fast they reproduce because it was like, a month later, those babies were having babies. It was just like constant. And we had gerbils all the time. We ended up getting another cage because we had so many gerbils. And it's like we couldn't stop it. And then we're at this point where they keep multiplying. You don't know which ones are girls, which ones are boys. It was an absolute mess. And the thing about gerbils were they were never really fun to like pick up and play. They wouldn't like to be petted and played with. Like the rats are a different thing. Like you can train them. They will come to you. They will do stuff. Like I make a noise and the rats come to me. I'm like the Pied Piper. I mean, it's a totally different experience than the gerbils who just like admire them from afar basically type thing. But they were multiplying and multiplying. And one crazy thing, we got a ton of albinos along the way, a bunch of albino ones. And then there'd be weird ones too, where like the mom would be eating the live ones and we'd come in and their heads would be eaten and they would kill. It was just like a wild thing to see like just cannibalism within these gerbil tribes. It was absolutely wild. But I think at one time we were up to like 30 gerbils running around. And the crazy thing is every once in a while, I don't know how this happened. I don't think it was my dog at the time. We had a little peekapoo back then. His name was Rudy. He was a peekapoo. I don't know how, but somehow the hamsters got loose, or the gerbils got loose. I don't know. And somehow it fell to the floor. So I don't know how that happened. If there was enough of them that made it. Either way, they got lost in the house. And you got 30 gerbils wild in the house. And I remember thinking one day it happened. I came home from school and then there were none to be seen. There was a couple in the room and stuff. Well, obviously, you could find them. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be killed if my parents get home. There's gerbils running around. And my dog, Rudy, who was not a hunting dog, a peekapoo once again, really. He's just was a lap dog. He helped me sniff out all these gerbils. Like, I'll never forget. I was like, buddy, you really helped me out. He didn't really like me that much. He only liked my stepmom.
He didn't like anybody.
Did you remember him, Rudy?
Yes, he always would hide under the bed when people would come over, and then he would growl at you if you would try to touch him.
He was a weird dude. He was a weird guy. And I remember we got him on Christmas one year, and like, he bit me immediately. I'm like, this is not the Christmas dream of a dog I wanted. And he helped me find all these. So I was very lucky I found all these gerbils. But my parents and stuff, we went to school, and I don't know how the conversation started, but we said, hey, we'd like to donate all these gerbils. And we basically, my whole elementary school, which had 7 grades, including kindergarten, and you had two sets. We had 14 classrooms. We gave every classroom a gerbil. And then the cages were fairly cheap, or I don't know if they got donation or what, but we cleaned out all these gerbils.
You were like Oprah. You get a gerbil.
Yeah, pretty much. So we gave a ton of these gerbils to the school. So every class ended up getting a gerbil. And then my buddy, Danny, you remember Danny Lakasha? Shout out to Danny, the real one out there. He got some of the gerbils as well, and he wanted some. And then we finally got rid of our gerbil problem. We got down to 1, and then he died, and then it was on to greener pastures. We were done with that experiment. Kind of like we're going to be done with rats real soon here. But I'll never forget my buddy Danny. He had the same problem. It was like the curse. It was like a mogwai. Don't feed them after midnight and stuff. They'll multiply, all that. You get them wet. And that's what happened to my gerbils. And Danny, he knew the challenges I was up to. And we were facing trying to get rid of all these. He took a bunch of these gerbils to his house. And what do you think happened? Rinse and repeat.
Oh, my God.
And I think I can't remember the story. I should have asked him. But something to the effect of he had to get rid of them all. And I remember he went into his backyard and just tipped the cage over and let them run. All the gerbils run in the grass. Said, see you guys, see you later. And I'm sure like cats killed every single one of them, I'm sure.
Oh my
But he just set them free in the backyard. Said, "This is ridiculous. I'm setting them all free."
There's no mistaking our rats. They got balls for days.
Oh yeah,
Big balls.
huge. Angie's just like, man, you salivate looking
You're
at
like
those
6'7".
things. 6'7". Unbelievable. A lot of ball work on those guys.
Disgusting.
They're not messing around. But Angie, you had a hamster, or did you have 2?
So I had 2.
Okay, now Angie's going to tell a little story time with Angie, and it's going to be a gruesome story from your college days.
Sad.
It was your college days?
Yes.
And I can't imagine, like, you taking care of an animal in your college days.
Well, it was a little, like, post-college, I guess, when I lived
And
in
why
there.
did you get it?
I don't know. I thought they were cute.
You just happened on a whim and said, yeah, I'm going to take these guys.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell us how long you had them for. Tell us all the stories. Don't leave out
I love
any
that
details.
you think I can remember any of this.
Well, make it up.
I maybe had them for like 6 months.
Okay.
And
Do you
there was
remember their
2 of
name?
them. No.
Yeah. Nope. Don't remember their name. Did you feed them?
Yes.
Okay.
And one day I came home and one of them had eaten the other one's like whole backside of its brain out. So I was very traumatized and I just took the whole cage and threw it in the dumpster. I was so freaked out. Because I felt bad for the one, but then it's like, I can't save the cannibal. Oh my God, it was so gross.
It was such a scarring moment for you.
Some Hannibal Lecter.
So you just said, you know what? I'm done with this. I've seen too much
just
gore.
Took the whole thing and just...
It was like a Fulci movie gone south. No Fulci update this week. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But you just threw the whole thing. They were both technically alive. Angie threw them in the dumpster at the apartment building.
Well, was the one really so? I don't know what was going on.
You could have at least freed them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I could have.
You could have freed them, but you said
out.
they're murderous. This one's been murdered. This one's murderous. It's best they get squished in the compactor, get dumped in, and psh, that's all she wrote. Can you imagine all the squealing that was going on when they were getting compressed and squeezed and blood popping everywhere? And the blood is still on your hands and down here. It's all over
that's
here
not
too.
the last animal I've killed. I ran over.
What'd you kill again?
Remember when I ran over the was it a gopher?
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, the gopher. How would we forget that? That's well documented on my YouTube channel. Check that video out if you want to see all the bloody, gory details. And there's blood in that video, of course.
But that's it.
And my favorite part is where Emma said, I always wanted to pet a groundhog, but not like this. not like this. I'll never forget it.
And then our pet cat from when I was growing up, her blood's on my hand. My parents found out I was allergic to a cat, and then my dad donated or gave her to someone on a farm, but we found out later he actually killed it.
Yeah, your dad old yellered it. He old yellered it. I don't think I've ever told this story. This isn't my story, but this is an old boss I had, and a good guy, and you know this guy. But he grew up on a farm back in the day. He's almost 70 years old now. So this is the olden times, of course. But he had a dog, and his dad would yell at him, you need to make sure, if that dog's not with you, you have him tied up because he's, going to go around with the other dogs and have babies and all this kind of stuff. Well, what do you think? He didn't tie it up one day. It went out around the farm, whatever, and they had to have all these babies. And his dad grabbed him, and he said he was only like 7 or 8 years old at the time.
Oh, God,
when this
I know
happened.
where this is going.
No, you don't. Well, you do, but you don't. He grabbed him and said, I'm going to learn. This is, you have consequences when you don't follow the rules and all this stuff. And I need you to take care of all these puppies. You need to kill every single one of them.
That's what I figured you were going to
So how do you think he killed them?
Oh, God, with a gun, I hope. But
No.
his hands?
No. He took them to the old fishing hole, the old pond.
Drowned them.
And he drowned them one by one. And then my first thing after he told me the story, I said, why didn't you do them all at the same time? Like, just put them in a bag and, I'm sorry, guys. Do one of those. Instead, he said he'd grabbed one, took it, walked into the water.
I can see
his
dad making him do it.
That's what happened. Maybe. He didn't tell me that part of the story, but I was shocked. I remember looking at another guy from work and hearing the story. I was like,
that's crazy.
Man. But that sounds like something my grandpa would have had to do back in the day or something.
But my sister didn't talk to me for a month.
Well, still hasn't talked to you.
Our cat Peaches.
Peaches, and she was turned into cream by the shotgun by your dad. And I could see your dad, knowing your dad, of course. He lived through the Vietnam. He was part of the Vietnam struggles and the wars.
Talk about PTSD.
He got shot a couple times out there. He'd been through it, so I don't think he had much afterthought in just killing a cat. That was no big deal. When you've killed other things, when you've killed many a people, I don't know.
Crazy.
So there it is, Angie. That is a little story time with Kyle. And
depressing. I got a tummy ache.
Oh, it's that marshmallow cream.
Yeah,
It'll get you. It'll get you. But that's story time with Kyle and Angie. But we got a return. We haven't done it in the last couple of weeks. It's time for the album of the week. All right, Angie, it's time for album of the week and a little bit of movie of the week, too. We got a little twofer in here. Unfortunately for me, no Fulci. No Fulci the last couple of weeks. I have been grinding like you would not believe, Angie. I've been grinding all over the place, haven't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been grinding like you wouldn't believe.
And I started watching The Madison, which is really sad, on Paramount. So I've been taking over the TV.
Yeah. All I do is work. All I do is work. Angie just lives the life. Look at her. She's just glowing today on Easter Sunday. Of course, she's just looking great. And I'm just looking like I just rolled off of a 2-week bender. Is what I look like. I just got out of a bender.
Threw up in a church's bathroom.
Yeah, I look like I just threw up in a church's bathroom. All over the wall, the ceiling, everywhere. Ugh, what a mess. But no Fulcis. I got to get back on the Fulci train. I've just been very preoccupied. I don't have time. I feel like
you've seen all the good ones.
Probably have. That's this point. I need to see the white things of the world. Those aren't going to be as fun. I need to see A Woman in a Lizard Skin. I have not seen that one yet, though. So I got that on my to-do list. So we'll see.
That sounds like my hamster.
Yeah, something like that. But album of the week this week and movie of the week. I did watch one movie, and this is actually a week ago today. I watched this late at night. I was just like, I'm not going to bed yet. I need to knock this one off the list. We talked about it in my Venice Beach blog. I made mention of it, so foreshadowing, Angie.
You do a vlog?
A vlog.
A vlog.
Yeah. My written blog. You know,
you said blog.
I said vlog.
Oh, you said it.
Anyways, album of the week this week is the new Black Label Society album, Zakk Wylde and the Boys. It is Engines of Demolition. Getting a lot of publicity here. A little bit of a return to form for Black Label. I will say I'm a huge Zakk guy. I have been since I was a little kid. When I first came into Ozzy, that was when Zakk was coming into Ozzy too. So I was always a Zakk Wylde guy. Still am. Got the guitar in the basement, all that kind of fun stuff. We've met Zakk Wylde. Angie said he smelled delightful, of course. Got her pits right in his face.
I was so relieved because everyone told me he smelled bad.
And met Zakk a few times. A great guy. Great musician, obviously. Now, Black Label every once in a while seems samey. It seems like it kind of all runs together. And you do get a little bit of this in this album. But he's really hitting the ballads into the rockers, into the ballads and the rockers. And the song on this album getting a lot of publicity is the Ozzy song. He did a video. It's obviously a tribute to Ozzy, which really owes his career to and everything. So it's worth checking out if you're into the Black Label Society. And it's pretty cool. They're on tour right now. And Dario is his guitarist. Dario's band opens the night. Dario's other band from Black Label. He opens. Then Zakk Sabbath plays, which is Zakk's other band, Zakk Sabbath, where they do Black Sabbath covers. And then we go into, of course, Black Label Society, which is pretty crazy. So Zakk's a busy guy that night. I just saw Zakk not too long ago, so I won't be going to this tour because it's not my area. But if I have a work meeting out of the blue and it's in the area, you know I'm going to be going to that. But it is pretty good. It's worth checking out. I listened to it twice this week. It does kind of all run together as most Black Label albums do. But I have a lot of fond memories of early Black Label Society days. I remember in college, before you met me, I had an apartment and I had a garage I rented. And I had, my Wrangler was in there. My Wrangler's kind of short, it's shorter than a car. And I had room to put all my fitness equipment in the back into that garage. And I would be out there every single day working out. And I'd be blaring 1919 Eternal. That was one of my favorite albums from Black Label. But I would be blaring that. And I'd be really pumping the iron. And I remember some hot, 100-degree summer days out there in that garage, just sweating like an absolute maniac. And happy times pumping the iron, getting the stress out back then. And then, you go out and party all night. And I would, after the bars, you'd get a pizza. And I always got the Papa John's barbecue chicken. Still love that to this day. It's the only Papa John's pizza I do enjoy. But it'd be party time. You get down to business,
A little puking.
Puking in the garage.
Food? Is it the liquor?
Had a little Folgers can. I'd pee in the garage if I had to go. No. No. But that is Black Label Society, Engine of Demolition. But the movie of the week, Man on the Run documentary on Amazon. It is Paul McCartney. It is a documentary on Paul McCartney, who just announced a new studio album coming in May. Can't wait to check that one out. But it is a deep dive documentary, and it's an interesting one. It's shown through pictures and talking, but no live interviews. No cuts to anybody talking current day. It's all old stuff with Paul nowadays talking over some of it, which I thought was really cool. I actually liked that style of documentary they did there. But it followed basically Paul past Beatles. So it was Wings, McCartney 2, into Wildlife, into all the Wings albums, up to Back to the Egg, the last final Wings album, and one of my absolute favorite albums of all time, Back to the Egg by Wings. Very underrated. Most people have never heard it. Absolutely love that album. But it was so cool to get a deep dive into those years of Paul, because obviously when people are talking Paul McCartney, and I love Paul McCartney, I love all Paul McCartney, people always go to the Beatles. And the Beatles stuff's been talked to death. We've heard all the stories a million times. I want more Wings stuff. I want to hear, because I didn't grow up during that era. And you hear about Band of the Run all the time. That's probably his most popular one. But you didn't get to hear about, London Town and Wildlife and Ram and Back to the Egg and some of these ones. Venus and Mars. So many great ones. So it was cool to get a little bit of behind the scene on that. I don't know where they're going, but I would love to see a Paul in the 80s, where Paul really lost his way in a lot of ways in the 80s. The documentary ends with Paul being arrested in Japan and then finally getting through all that and then the breakup of Wings. But I would love to see some of the 80s stuff where they dive into the Pipes of Pieces, the Tug of Wars, the McCartney 2s, Press to Play, Give My Regards to Broad Street, where he did a movie. Ringo was in the movie with him. I would love to hear Paul's thoughts on a lot of that stuff, because it's all been lost to time. You never hear him. They always go to the Beatles and occasionally some heavy hitters like Man on the Run, but we don't hear the 80s stuff. And then I got into Paul McCartney as a little kid in 1989 with Flowers in the Dirt, into Off the Ground. I would love to hear some of that stuff from the 90s up to Linda's death. And I hope they continue these on, but I don't know. There's been no word they're going to do that. But Paul's no spring chicken. I would love to hear the stories in the same style throughout his career, just have that documented, because I'm a huge McCartney fan. I've heard everything McCartney's ever done. I really enjoy that stuff. I love my heavy metal. I love my country and Western. I love my Paul McCartney. There's a lot of stuff. I'm a very varied musician fan there. But
what was he arrested for?
Marijuana in Japan.
Oh, geez.
Which is like 20 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
And Paul said, Paul, you knew this going in here. Why did they told you repeatedly not to bring it there? He said, it was just such good weed. I couldn't be without it, is what he said. And his wife, Linda, they were together, like 36 years or something like that. They only spent one night apart from each other in all those years, and it was that one night he had to be in jail. Fun fact. But he said the weed was so good he couldn't just leave it.
You couldn't lie and be like, oh, I forgot it was in my suitcase or something.
No. Well, it didn't matter.
Much traveling.
It's such a big thing there.
Well, you could just claim that you didn't know, that you didn't do it on purpose.
They don't care there.
Yeah.
They don't care. Like, they were going to chop his hands off and leave him in a cell for 30 years, I think. But he got out of it, as he does. Because, at the end of the day, as we say, follow the money. You think Paul McCartney's not going to get out of that after a couple of days?
Who was the president then? I'm sure they got him out.
No, I forget how it went. But I think he didn't go back to Japan for a long time. I don't remember why. But he hasn't had that good a weed since, I don't think. So who knows? But there it is, Angie. That is the album of the week. It's time to bring it home with a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts. We got a little question of the week action here. And of course, you want to be the question of the week, email the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, videocast version, stick it in the comments down below. And you too can be the question of the week. But Angie, we got 2 questions this week. Oh God, are you ready for this?
No.
Don't be coughing.
Jonathan Hodap, 8735. His guess was 146.
Well, he was off.
I know you've had many numerous. It's so hard to say goodbye. But what is a new line you're excited to collect?
Ooh, what about you? Are you collecting anything new? You buying anything new that you're into right now?
Just hearts.
Just hearts. I knew it. Just hearts. Collecting all the hearts you can, as we know. But I feel like you were buying something. What are you buying? Oh, Neatos. Of course. Neatos is your new collections.
Shoes. That's my thing.
Shoes is crazy. It's just, you could wear a different shoe every single day. And I guarantee.
Crazy. In a month, maybe.
No.
6 months?
What?
Every day for how many days is
a year?
Oh my God! I do.
You have 3. I guarantee.
I do not have 365 days.
I guarantee she's got 300 between like dress shoes, sneakers, flats, jellies, Crocs, slippers, boots. I guarantee you got 365.
I do need to get a little shoe carousel or something. I need a solution.
You need to just wear them until they blow up. But on the kind of flip side of that, I've bought a lot of pairs of shoes lately.
You buy lots of Western shirts is what you buy.
I do buy a lot of Western shirts, but when you're only paying $20, it's just such a deal. It's such a deal, and I'm always haggling on them too. But that is my other collection. But I've been buying a lot of shoes lately. I found some blue shoes at Ross that remind me of my childhood shoes my dad had back in the day. So I was like, I gotta get these.
What are they, blue and yellow?
Yeah, and they were only $25. I said, Normally, I'm not one to do that. And it was at checkout. It was a fallen soldier. Somebody threw it off to the side. So, but I bought those shoes. Did I get another pair of shoes too?
I think so.
What did I get? Oh, I got a new pair of work shoes. Those are like clearance Walmart shoes or something. I don't know. I feel like I got a couple pair of shoes lately.
Oh, you mentioned getting those Vans, but we didn't buy them. That was another thing.
The Paul Stanley ones?
The checkered ones that were like pink or purple.
Oh, yeah. Vans. I always wear Vans, but there was a nice pink one that's kind of, that they don't make in my size, but there's like a purple one that's kind of that vibe. Thinking about getting those. I just can't pull the trigger. I can't pull the trigger on that pair of Vans. Maybe one day. But I did see in Facebook Marketplace, and I usually don't look at that, but there's been a guy, he started like $140, then $100. Now he's down to like 80, or maybe he went to 50. I can't remember, but he was selling some Paul Stanley Pumas, Paul Stanley of Kiss. I kind of want those. They're a 10.5 though, and she thinks they're going to be too tight on me. But they look pretty good. They're like zebra, so they look really crazy 80s, crazy night style is what it reminds me of. So
too crazy.
Anyways, the new collection I'm extremely excited about, though, is Cops and Crooks, Big Bad Toy Store exclusive line.
No clue.
I am all in on Cops and Crooks. I unboxed Bulletproof there. It was a toy line I wanted to collect so bad when I was a little kid, and my dad said, Kyle, you have too many collections. We're not doing Cops and Crooks. You're doing
like, now nobody's stopping me.
You're doing He-Man, you're doing Turtles, you're doing wrestling, you're doing G.I. Joe, you're doing Transformers, you're doing Star Wars. We're not diving into Cops and Crooks, and I had to admire from afar. Well, the time is now. Little Kyle is rejoicing. Little Kyle's getting his victory. And I was just at my dad's house. You were as well. And my dad's got a heck of a collection down there. And it's so wild. It's because he says he's out of action figures. And then I'm looking in there. I'm like,
you're like, that's new.
I'm like, wait a minute here. This Kingpin is brand new. Where did he get this? And then I'm like looking over and it's like, gosh, who do you have from McFarlane? Like Dr. Fate or something. And I'm like, it's always just random shelves. It's like, I like his collection because it's so random. It's just crazy. I look at it, I'm like, why is this here? Why did he put it here? Here's Inspector Gadget next to King Kong, next to Bill Goldberg, next to Bill Goldberg as Ram Man. I'm just looking and, my dad, I said, Dad, you want to get back to the channel? He said he absolutely refuses. Absolutely refuses. Nobody over 70 should be on YouTube is what he said. So unfortunately for us, so I had to settle for Angie is what we had to settle for. But there it is, Angie. We got one more. What is it?
You read it.
Oh, come on. She's just here to cough and look good. Well, might as well show those off. All right. Michael Campbell, 7010, 123 blocks. So once again, not correct there. Also, question of the week. Is there a place you post your needed figures for those that want to be a good brother of the channel and help out? No, not really. I feel weird taking people's figure request. I'd feel weird to be one of those people that has like an Amazon wish list. Like, oh, here's my wish list, that kind of a thing. But I would recommend join the Patreon because that money does go back into buying action figures and stuff like that. And at least you feel like you get value. You get early access to all the videos between both my YouTube channels. You get all the glamour shots. You get the podcast early. You get all my videos early. You get a monthly Q&A that's exclusive over there. You giveaways, all that kind of stuff. So, and I just never know what I'm really needing at the time. But I could use a pair of Vans.
Size 11.
No, and Angie loves Starbucks. But I don't know. The Patreon's probably the way to go. But, I mean, if you want to send me, there's people that send me stuff to review. You can do that if you want to. You just got to reach out to me. But I've had, like, companies say, hey, we really want you to review something. I'd like to send this your way. Or I've heard you like this guy, and I'd like to send you this way. Like, Tim Merritt surprised me one year. Shout out to old Tim Lando Merritt. He surprised me with a Lando sideshow figure once upon a time. That was pretty awesome. Hot Toys, same thing, kind of. But yeah, I don't know. You can reach out to me if you want to, and obviously I would review it on the channel, do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think the Patreon's the way to go. Yeah. That's the way to best to support things. So
nice
there
thought,
it is.
Though. Nice guy.
There it is. Nice thought. But yeah, send me a money order if you want to. maybe something like that. But that is it. Episode number 54 coming to a close. A bit of a random episode here on a very tired Easter Sunday. But as usual, you guys know what you got to do. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the podcast. Share the podcast. That always helps. Thumbs up the videos. Angie's yawning over there. I don't know what she's up to. I'm
holding it in.
Unbelievable. You're going to get your comeuppance here right as the minute we hit stop recording. That's for sure. But yeah, make sure you follow on social medias, all that kind of stuff. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com if you want to email me, the podcast you're watching, all that kind of fun stuff. But long way to get there. But Angie, What did we learn today?
Hamsters. Food.
Hamsters,
Talked about
food.
food.
What else?
We talked about
What else?
Zach.
Zach Morris. Who else? What else you got for us, Angie?
Paul McCartney.
Talked about Paul McCartney. What else?
Reese's that was nasty.
Reese's that was nasty.
Well, nasty, but
There's some poor little kid in like Saharan Africa that hasn't eaten in weeks, and Angie's just spitting out this. Unbelievable. And I'm puking my church's chicken up. You didn't bring that up.
Puking. That's all I got.
That's all Angie got. So there it is, episode number 54, the slow march to 100. Angie, tell everybody goodbye in your own special way.
Bye.
She can't figure out the camera. She can't figure it out.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play? Hey, come on.